The British history of my tribe and my chief and me being belonging to that blood of that chief, not just of that tribe. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. All I'm saying is that we have been hidden and kidnapped. And okay, my point of this video is not about me, but it is kind of a sense about our culture. Within the Shawnee Nation, we have black people, white people, brown people, all sorts of different people. Okay? But for us to be a multicultural race, you got different people that like different cultures. So black on black sex to us, it doesn't look negative until you want to use it in a murderous sense. It make because I love black women, so it's hard. This is not an apology to anything that I've said negative about black people, because I'm gonna explain to you why it didn't matter how many times I got into a fight with a black person over some stupid ass bullshit of him bumping into me thinking, oh, well, he's a white guy and he's a Confederate and this and that. I love you guys don't like Confederate Americans, and I love you don't like Americans. Okay, because we were a Union Army. We weren't an American army. We were a Union army that used American soldiers. And we used the British and the French to kidnap those American soldiers and force them on the front lines and force them in a battle to lose against the black slaves so that we could liberate the slaves. Now, I'm hurt and I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Like, it makes me want to cry on the fact that a black person that we liberated, and it wasn't even really the Americans, we forced the Americans to liberate you. That wasn't giving you citizenship as an American. I would never want to dispose of you as a citizen, as an American. I want you to be known as a Shawnee warrior. You have been taken in. You have not been kidnapped. You have been liberated. Okay, and the way you were liberated was by my Shawnee Nation. Okay, and I'm not saying we're the best people on earth. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying I think this is the best place for you to be. And it hurts my feelings that when we liberated you, you chose to be African American or Black American or even Native American. That hurts my feelings because I'm a Shawnee. Now that would be classified as Native American, but I don't like that term American because Americans killed us. Okay, the Americans killed us, the Confederate slaves killed us, the Confederates killed us, and the Confederates weren't really white, and that's why they used the term Negro, is because it's Spanish. They do appear to be white, just like Colombians and Cubans and stuff like that, and I've been around the world enough to know that it's hard to signify that. Okay, I'm a German African, but it's not like I'm fucking pure blood black. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I am a German African. So, you, as a black person, I find it disrespectful not only to your culture but to my culture to not want to embrace the fact that we are a Shawnee warrior. To bleed blood together is to share DNA together. And nevertheless, British will back us up on this once they fully get an understanding of what's going on in this society. Okay? Do we have black people as a threat here? Most definitely. For me to not have love for black people, I must have hate for the other side of black people that believe that black people should die just for an initiation cause on a gang or something like that. I don't like that. That hurts my feelings because it feels like everything that I created in 1965 and in 18 fucking 12 and in fucking all the way up till 19 fucking 45 and so on and so on. It hurts my feelings that you guys would still want to be classified as an American when we know that Americans have stole that land from me. Okay, I wasn't even recognized as a race until 2001, and I was born in 1992. I was placed on an American birth certificate when I was born on a reservation land. It may not be considered reservation land because of the missed treaties, but I'm born on reservation land of the Puyallup tribe. And the Puyallup tribe are just like Navajos. They're like slave owners. That's why they have like cops and stuff like that. There's a lot of Indians that believed in that, and we wandered the whole nation, and we have a full understanding of that. The Navajo isn't going to be able to tell you in that much detail because they've stayed in one area so many times. But the thing that hurts my feelings the most is that you want to call yourself Black American rather than Black Shawnee. And I don't even think that we should label you Black Shawnee because I don't think the depiction of your skin should matter. You're a Shawnee. You're a warrior. Okay? And that's all that really matters. Okay? We're here for the British. We're here for the French. We're here for the Canadians. We are here for the Brazilians and the Mexicans. And even Mexico will tell you that part of the cartel needs to own certain parts of Mexico, and other parts need to own certain parts too. And when you took away Texas, that created a big problem. Just like when you took away our 13 original colonies. I'm not talking about as a Confederate American. I am talking about an Indian that actually owned that land. Okay? Now, like I said, we don't really believe in slavery, but we do believe in self-sufficiency. We don't need money and gold to be able to thrive. The people will trade gold for money because you can't eat it. We don't need your gold. We don't need it. It's not going to benefit us any. It's not going to help us grow our crops any. We have enough extended crops that we could export them to you. But you can't just take everything because if you kill us all, then you're going to die because you have nothing to eat. We have no problem doing what we're doing. That's why we do what we do. But now you're preventing us from doing it, and that's created a starvation of the world. And I'm not going to apologize for any negative things that I've said about negative black people. If you're a negative black person and you felt guilt towards that, I have no apology for it. But if you're a black person that felt guilty about something that your nation did that you had no part of and you've just been brainwashed by a fucking false community, I don't feel bad for that either because you feeling that sense of stupidity is you reaching a new dimension of intelligence. For you to feel how stupid you were, how could I be so dumb? Well, you're not anymore. If you realize you're dumb, that makes you smart. The best thing you could do is recognize a mistake. Okay? And I don't look at your slavery killing me, you being forced into slavery killing me as a Shawnee warrior. I don't look at that as necessarily a mistake, but I don't look at that as anything to necessarily be proud of. Okay, nothing about slavery was proud about it. When we started to go to war with them and then we blew them up, that's something we'll be proud about. As a Shawnee warrior, whether you're black, white, or whatever the hell you are a Shawnee warrior. Okay, I don't want to hear none of this. We're just black culture, and no, you have the freedom to live in black culture, but you don't have that freedom of black culture just starting a war with somebody based off of their skin color because you feel they hate you. They may have a reason to hate you. Do you have a reason to hate them? Okay, but do you really necessarily have a reason to kill them? Well, they did it to my grandparents. I've had a lot of Americans do things to my grandparents too. There's a time and there's a place, and it's all been put into motion, and it's working the way that it needs to work. That's all I can really basically tell you. If it ever did start to fail, I would tell you. Now, is it in its brinks of trying to fail? Yeah, but how could it be in the brinks of failure when we're noticing it? We're completely conscious of it and watching it. That doesn't make them nervous whatsoever. They're like, oh, yay, they're not going to do anything about it. And then that's when we do something about it. And we always test the waters. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, let me see how hard this guy can hit. And so if I could take a hit without blocking it, then if I'm blocking his punches, then I could go toe to toe with him probably all night. That's what I explained to you about the runt. The runt might lose 9 out of 10 times, but that 10 times he wins, that alpha probably never going to come back to fight. I'm not saying that he won't. There are some guys that are runts that turn to like what you would consider an alpha, but that's like more or less being an apex rather than an alpha. Because when it comes down to it, I will eat you. I will kill you so that the rest of the pack survives. Because if you're the one that decides to starve the pack, and I'm the one that decides to feed the pack, Who do you think the pack will back up at the end of the day? I know you feed the pack, but once they realize how much more I could feed them because of how much less I eat, that's on you.